residencies, awards, commissions, what have you, whatever's in your field. It introduces and promotes your work and your interests whenever you do something like this. And so that's why it's really important that any application that you fill out or any proposal that you put forward, award, residency, what have you, that you really do your best to put your best foot forward. The other thing you need to think about, I'd like you to picture it this way, is that no matter how your materials are submitted, whether it's online or it's carrying a package of materials and a maquette and some other materials to a meeting, it's a studio visit with you. It's a studio visit with you, but you're not there. You're not there to walk them through the process. You're not there to explain the materials. You're not there to explain what you really meant that you wanted to do if they don't understand it. You're not there to answer their questions. So everything that you're going to put together and apply to this first time. How many of you applied for grants before? I forgot to ask that question. All right. And were they awarded? And so was this outside of school or in school? They were outside of school. What kind of grant did you apply for?
This was at my own job. I did grant writing.
You did grant writing?
Or nonprofit work.
Okay. You see this person here? Experience. I think I'd make friends with her. Absolutely. I hope I'm not. But this is good. This is good. How about put some of the other grants in here? I saw a hand back there. They were fellowships through school. Everybody else? Okay, great. Yes?
I'm going for a rhizome.
Pardon? A rhizome?
Yeah.
And how did you have to submit it?
Online.
It was an online thing.
So.
And you were awarded the grant?
I was not.
But you didn't mind?
Yeah.
You just threw your hat in the ring. Yeah, you know what? Because when you apply, even if you don't get the award, you've still been noticed. People have considered you, and maybe have really considered you very, very carefully. Or maybe they've noticed you. And maybe you didn't get the award, but they're keeping an eye out on you. Or yours is a name that just comes across later on, and they kind of have, or they see some work later on of yours, and they kind of have this memory of you. I mean, that's what, when Patty described how we go back to the 80s, ancient history, right? That's the fact is that, throughout your career, you're going to be running in and running out of people, and it's this sort of this wonderful interconnected network. So this is a great way to get you started connecting. So it promotes your work and your interests to a grants officer or a selection panel, and in this case, it's going to promote your interest to this person who's going to be selecting in your area. And it's really your job. This is part of your job. That's what I love to say. That's what I teach at Columbia. I teach artists what their job is, besides making great work. All the other stuff is about their job. So it's your job to present what you want to do with some clarity and authority. Because it's going to be your grant is going to be judged according to the interests of the funder and the published guidelines, and with the context of other applicants. So the first thing I want to do is I want to find that RISD grant. I have it here. Now, what did I do with it? Did you pick it up, Patty? I think this is my folder, but I don't know. Maybe it somehow ended up in my. Do you think you might have stuck it in my folder? Because somebody's underlining it. Is it yours? This is mine. Sorry. Patty picked it up. This is the very first thing you do with any grant. This came to you as an email. Is that how it came? Mm-hmm. What's the first thing you think you do? Print it out. I know it sounds dumb. But, we scan online, we do not read. We do not read carefully. And you really have to read very carefully anything like this that comes to you. So please print this stuff out. So I've already started underlining stuff. I love when I get a grant, I take a yellow highlighter and I go through and I start highlighting all the salient information. So what I've underlined, first of all, what is the mission of this grant? Really important to always know what is the purpose of the grant so that you can speak to that purpose when you're applying to it. And that's what Patty described. She said she realized that when she didn't get that first grant, that she hadn't quite articulated, and it wasn't quite the right grant for her at that time. So it's for students to seek support for new or developing work, okay? So it seems to be a reversal of what you were doing before. The old grant was to award you for already completed work. So that's important. So obviously, I know I can't tell you how many people get rejected from grants, from any process all over the world because they didn't follow the guidelines, simple guidelines that you think are really clear when you write them and people don't do it. So, it's not for completed work. It rewards individual exploration and facilitates emerging and prospective work. So you're going to have to come up with a new idea. That's what this grant's about. It can provide financial support for thesis development, but a lot of you are graduating, right? So you're already into your thesis. So only for those first year and second year people and the second year people in the third year program, it could be for doing a thesis work. But this is fabulous that RISD wants to support something that you would be doing post-grad. Because how many of you are fully funded for next year after you graduate? Any fully funded people here? That's right. This is what you're going to need. Money. Absolutely. This is fantastic. Okay, so the guidelines are important. Now, I put together a cheat sheet, a one-pager, so that you can take notes, but also I've written down a lot of the things I want you to start thinking about. We're going to go through this step by step because I think this will really help you with developing. We're going to develop so many fantastic proposals that they're going to have to double the amount of money in this foundation. Patty's going to have to go on the road and say we have too many fabulous students here.
Well, our president says his highest priority is fundraising for student scholarships and student support. So we're hoping the graduate students are very much on his mind.
Okay. What I want to see is like tons of applications going in, because you all know how this is going to work. That the most money goes to the most applications in each field, in different disciplines. So, most completed applications. All right, so I've already gone through the first 4 items up here. This is the benefits for applying for a grant or any opportunity. The benefits are, it supports your ongoing work or your project. How many of you do project-based work? Yeah, get used to the world of looking for funding. It's an opportunity to expand beyond your usual practice